We're gonna give you the best forearm exercises that you can use for baseball, and we're gonna start right now. First, we need to know how to apply it and where can we apply it, and that's gonna take us into that 60-second breakdown. Key number one, we have to know the muscles that we're working on, okay? Brachioradialis, all of our ulnar and radial flexors and extensors, even a little bit of our elbow flexors here with our brachialis, and then finally, our pronator teres. Those are key muscles that we're going to try to strengthen over a long period of time. That second key factor with baseball and forearm strength is that look at someone like Ohtani. He knows he has a ton of strength in his forearms. So that enables him to be a little bit more patient as the ball's coming to the plate because he knows what he can do to go opposite field. That third key factor is that it improves your exit velocity off of the bat. Fourth key factor, when we have greater grip strength, it helps us throw a little bit harder, and it also adds rotations to the ball, which in turn gives us a little bit more movement. Finally, we still have to train full body when we're working with baseball. But forearm training can drastically improve your overall performance. Now, I mentioned Ohtani. He's a master of ulnar deviation. Now let's get into some exercises. Okay, so that first exercise that I like to use is going to be a power elastic, okay, ulnar deviation. And so what we want to do is actually focus on flicking the wrist. And so we should do this to both sides, obviously. Let's say we do 15 to 17 reps, okay? So we're gonna hit this, and then we're gonna pair this, we're gonna contrast this with a brachioradialis curl, okay? So we're gonna go here, I wanna come down, and I wanna come up, okay? So this is gonna be brachioradialis and a little bit of that brachialis, and that's gonna help us increase that forearm strength. We can go sets of 5, sets of 6, okay? So 6 sets, let's say, again, 15 to 17 reps with that power elastic ulnar deviation, and then we come back over here and we hit 17 reps on each side, really just focusing on feeling inside our brachialis and our brachioradialis here. Oh, big forearms. Popeye forearms for big hitters. Now, training flexors and training pronator teres. There's a little bit of a position here, and in wrestling, we always call this like a cobra position. Okay, so you might get a front headlock and you're in a cobra. Now, for baseball, that's gonna be key for when we're releasing a ball. That's also gonna be key on our non-dominant arm when we're swinging a bat. Okay, so what can we do to train that flexor position, or as I refer to it, that cobra position? And that's where this exercise comes into play. Really, we're gonna get a huge pump on the pronator teres. Okay, so we wanna have the rope on a forearm roller on the inside, and we wanna lower it nice and slow. This is okay, it's not like extraordinarily challenging, but it is pretty freaking hard, especially on a 3-inch pipe. Now, the other thing I want to factor in is that this 3-inch pipe is very similar to the size of a baseball. Okay, so we want to remember that for actual application. Now, as you can see, when I rotate here, I'm getting into that cobra position. Now I'm going to start to blow up that pronator teres. I'm going to really start to feel the flexors right here. Okay, and that's going to lead to greater strength and greater strength endurance. What ends up happening then is if we're a baseball player, it's really hard. If we're a pitcher, we can get better rotations on the actual ball so we can get better movement. If we're an outfielder or an infielder or a catcher, anything along those lines, we can throw a little bit higher with better velocity and with better precision. If we have a stronger grip, that enables us to control the ball a little bit more. Now, we need to learn how to superset this and apply it with other movements that also carry over to baseball. Now, if we hit those forearm rollers, what I like to do then is you can go with sledgehammer rotations. Again, this is gonna be more brachioradialis, a little bit of brachialis, and you can come back nice and strong. Now we need to do both sides, okay? So we're here, come up, get a good stretch, come back up. This is the type of stuff that's gonna help you have those hands like Ohtani, okay, or Mike Trout, any of those beast hitters, Vlad Guerrero. If you strengthen your forearms and you're doing proper full body training, you're doing power cleans, you're doing squats, you're doing pull-ups, which is gonna show you a sweet variation for pull-ups, that's gonna enable you to have a little bit more time. If you have a little bit more time as a hitter, now I can have more time to make calculations based off of what the arm slot is doing of the pitcher. If you have just a little bit more time, that could be the difference between getting on base or not getting on base. So it's important to make sure that you're strength training all this stuff and you know how to apply it. Oh, my left arm's slightly weaker. Now we mentioned with the forearm roller, okay, we were focusing on that cobra, okay? Then we just did some more isolation work of just the forearm and a little bit of brachialis when we were just doing that sledgehammer rotation. Okay, now I wanna piece that together with my upper back and my lats, because that plays a massive role with making contact. Not just as a batter either, it also plays a massive role in your shoulder stability. If my lats are stronger, I'm gonna be more stable in my upper back. So that's where towel pull-ups can come into play. If we focus on our grip here, we can execute a towel pull-up. Two more. And we want to try and feel that squeeze here. That's going to help us feel that rhomboid come in together, hug our spine, and in turn, our scap is going to move more effectively. So not only are we training our forearms better, we're also training our upper back a little bit better. Now, the next exercise is going to blow you away when we're talking about grip training for baseball. Now, when we're training our grip, one thing that I really think we've got to focus on, and this goes back to training those sledgehammer rotations, supersetting that with the towel pull-ups, or even training the forearm roller and supersetting that with the towel pull-ups. I want to make sure that we can actually apply that grip through our entire body, okay? So that's where we got our rotational walking lunges with our garage grips on the bar, okay? Those garage grips will give your forearms an even greater challenge, but as you're rotating, you're feeling that stretch shortening cycle through your trunk and applying that into your hands, okay? So that's how we can actually kill two birds with one stone. I recommend doing like 5 or 6 sets, again, 4 to 5 reps on each side to improve your trunk control while also training your grip. So use all these exercises to improve your overall forearm strength. It's gonna lead to better exit velocity, better control of the baseball, a healthier elbow, and even a more stable shoulder girdle, okay? We've gotta remember all those key factors. If we use the walking barbell rotations with the garage grips, you're also gonna improve that trunk control, okay? If you need help with your programming because you're confused by all the exercises that we just gave you, head over to peakstrength.app and you can select that you wanna train as a baseball player. We're gonna give you a program designed specifically to help you with your goals, your rest period, and even the exercises and equipment that you have available. Because remember, freaks, if you wanna become a champion, you've always gotta cultivate your power. Peace.